Hundreds of protesters, along with a tank, are expected at the British Ironworks Centre on the A5 near Oswestry this morning. Yes, I did say a tank. The demonstrators are angry about the National Grid's plans to build pylons across the Shropshire countryside. The Grid say the pylons are necessary to carry electricity from Welsh wind farms to the National Grid. Protesters say the pylons will ruin the countryside. Ian Perry's there right now for BBC Radio Shropshire.
Well, there are around 50 or so high-visibility jacketed protesters blocking to the entrance to the British Ironworks Centre here on the A5 just outside Oswestry. You can hear the chanting, they're holding placards that read "No Pylon," they read "Save Our Countryside." Unusually, the protesters are flanked by barbed wire, and I'm told that there is a tank, a World War II tank, on the way a little later on. Now, I'm going to have to plunge into the middle of the protesters here to get Clive Knowles. Clive, if he could, I can't hear himself think there. Clive, remind us, what's this protest about?
It's all about really trying to get National Grid to recognise that we've got a phenomenal sculpture park here in Shropshire, and we're doing our very best to protect it, and we need them to, whatever plans they're coming up with, we need them to be very careful of not destroying it or blighting the site.
Now, by blighting the site, you mean by putting pylons across, do you? By putting pylons across the countryside, that, in your view, is a blight. But are pylons that bad? They seem to be a pretty standard feature in most places around the UK.
They are, and I think we've got very used to it and desensitised to them. But of course we're here to protect a sculpture park, a tourism destination, and we certainly can't be having pylons going across a sculpture park. It's absolutely ridiculous.
But providers are warning us that the electricity supply is being overstretched. They say we need these pylons. They say we need more electricity for the future. And they're right, aren't they?
They are right, and we do need the electricity. And we're certainly not saying that we won't cooperate with National Grid. We've agreed to have the underground cabling. We've agreed to partner them in creating a sculpture as a pylon. So we're looking at other ways of helping and cooperating, but we simply can't have a traditional pylon in the middle of our sculpture park here in Shropshire.
Well, it's an impressive turnout this morning, but do you really think any protest is going to make the slightest bit of difference to what happens in the end?
Yeah, I do. I think there's a lot of apathy in Shropshire. I think people are willing to sit back and allow these large companies or national groups to do as they please. And we're just simply saying that this is too precious a jewel in Shropshire to destroy, and we're willing to go to any length to protect it.
What have National Grid said to you?
Well, National Grid were here last week, and they've gone away, and they've said they're going to consult their superiors, and we're hoping that they're going to be coming back to us hopefully by next week with some alternative arrangements. But they certainly they need to protect what we have here in Shropshire, something beautiful here, and we'll just keep protesting until they come up with something that's more suitable.
Well, I'm looking at a sea of placards here. No to the pylon, save our sculpture park, keep pylons away from sculptures. And this is just the first wave, isn't it? What happens next?
We've got another demonstration at 12 noon. We've got a 13-ton armour-plated tank coming, and we've obviously put out a public announcement that we need the public here to support us. Anybody that's in Shropshire that values the countryside, that would like to protect the British Ironworks and the sculpture park, please come along at 12 o'clock and demonstrate with us. It's passive. We're not aggressive people, but we do need to protect what we're creating here.
A lot of people putting a lot of effort behind this protest this morning, the one at midday as well. Do you think you can win? Do you think you can stop the pylons?
I don't think it's a case of winning, and I certainly have no interest in fighting with National Grid. With this protest and the ones that will follow, it's just about making National Grid think a little bit more carefully about which businesses they're blighting, and ensuring that they certainly protect this area of Shropshire. It's beautiful, and we've got huge tourism in the area. It's growing all the time, and we want it to continue that way.
As you can hear, there's a lot of emotion going this morning. A lot of people very upset at the idea of pylons, as they would say, blighting the Shropshire countryside as they bring electricity over from Wales and into the national grid. One thing's for sure, however this ends up, these protesters are not going to go away quickly. They're not going to go away soon. They are going to make their voices heard.
Thank you, Ian. Ian Perry at the British Ironworks Centre on the A5 near Oswestry this morning. Protesters early on this morning and again at lunchtime today.